Oh, I love the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Me too.
Whoa, guys, don't spoil the movie for me. What's the engineer doing? That's Clementine's confidential information and he's taking it.
Yes, I will make her fall in love with me. Fuck it.
In the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, a young woman named Clementine wants to get her memories erased by going to the company Lacuna. During the process of her memories getting erased, an engineer in the company, Patrick, falls in love with Clementine. In order to advance his romantic prospects for Clementine, he steals Clementine's confidential memories, which are protected by the company. The major stakeholders in this case are 1. The company Lacuna, 2. Patrick, the engineer, and 3. Clementine, the client.
Oh man! What are the legal repercussions of this?
The relevant law in this case is tort law. The test for tort law can be verified in this specific case. The defendant owed the plaintiff a duty of care. In this specific case, there was an expectation to keep the client information confidential. Secondly, the defendant breached the duty of care by their misconduct, and that was through the form of using the information for personal gain. Finally, the defendant caused harm to the plaintiff through their actions. There was a breach of privacy, and in turn, emotional damage was caused to the plaintiff.
The 3 legal precedences that outline this case are 1. Donahue v. Stevenson, which set the duty of care for tort law. 2. Vargo v. Canmore, because despite there's no immediate danger, a duty of care is still owed. And 3. Winnipeg condos, because a duty of care is still owed, especially regarding health and safety.
In this case, the plaintiff is Clementine, and the defendant is both the engineer and the company that held Clementine's confidential information. The test for tort law has been satisfied, as mentioned before, and the damages in this case are general damages, which are Clementine's emotional distress, and consequential damages, which are additional damages caused by the general ones.
The court should find in favor of the plaintiff. The engineer has the most responsibility of the concurrent tortfeasors having met the criteria of the tort test. Because of the size of the damages, the company may have to help the engineer pay due to vicarious liability. We can expect the courts to want general and consequential damages be paid out by the concurrent tortfeasors.
We can also analyze this case using contract law, as there is a contractual relationship between the company and the client. This contractual relationship fits the 5 requirements needed for a legal contract. As such, should Clementine want to pursue this under breach of contract law, the company may be liable to more damages, such as punitive and direct damages, from this breach of contract law.
Doesn't this breach the engineering ethics and misconduct in the Professional Engineering Act?
The engineer is breaching a duty of care towards clients for their own personal gain, which will affect how they treat the clients and therefore the engineering profession. There is a conflict of interest with personal relationships that break 2 sections of the Professional Engineering Act. 72.2I3. This section is broken because the engineer is using material or memories. The other is 72.2J, where confidential material from the procedure is used for the engineer's own personal gain, which is considered a breach of confidentiality and is considered disgraceful, dishonorable, or unprofessional towards the engineering profession.
Additionally, this is a direct breach of both Section 77.3 and 77.4 in PEO's Code of Ethics. The engineer did not present the conflict of interest to his manager. Also, the engineer altered the service provided to Clementine by not keeping her information confidential, and he used it to gain her love.
The engineer could do nothing. This is bad because it would be negligence in the profession, as well as the engineer would not be reporting the wrongdoings of Patrick. The engineer could report Patrick to PEO. This is bad because they didn't talk to the manager or Patrick first. However, if the manager or Patrick don't comply, then the engineer might be able to go to PEO. The engineer could also report Patrick directly to the manager. This is a great option as the engineer is following the chain of command. However, if they do not comply, then going to PEO is still an option. The engineer could also tell Patrick to disclose his conflict of interest. This is good, but more would need to be done since Clementine has already had negative consequences.
Another possible solution is telling Clementine the truth about Patrick. This fulfills 77.1.I in regards to the client, 77.2.I, and 72.2.B. It does have issues as it does not fulfill 77.1.I regarding the employer or 77.8.
The engineer should go to Patrick about resolving the issue. If he does not solve the problem, he should then go to the manager, and if the issue is still not resolved, go to PEO. Man, he needs to take a professional engineering practice course.